What is up, Super Fam and Bro Vengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, aka Baby Sensei, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And today we are checking out the season finale for Peacemaker Season 2. Yo, I am so excited to get into this, and I hope y'all are as well. Make sure you drop a 1 in the chat if you hype for it, drop a 2 in the chat if you're not, and drop a 3 in the chat if you're just happy to be here, okay? Let me know how you're feeling on this beautiful Thursday evening. You feel me? Because I'm doing pretty good. I'm having a good time, and I'm excited for this. I can't lie to you. I am very excited for the finale of Peacemaker. Man, this episode is supposed to be an hour long, and that's good. You feel me? That's like almost all I need to know that this is about to be a banger of a season. You know what I'm saying? Or a season finale, I should say, because man, we have been put through the ringer, for a lack of better words, this season. So I have no doubt in my mind that this season finale is going to be the precipice of everything that we have been building up to. Okay, the precipice. I'm trying to tell you. Let's get it cracking. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section down below. Are you hyped for Peacemaker? I know I am. I know I am. Okay, I don't know what else to say other than that. Peacemaker has been a lovely time every step of the way. I've really enjoyed it. I did not know what we were going to be in for this season, but I think it's done a good job of building up to what we got last episode. And now today, I feel like we are really going to see just all of those things just meshed together, bro, even more so. And this is going to be kind of our building point or our breakout point to what's next, and that is Man of Tomorrow. So this is going to be building up a lot of the stuff that we're going to need to know about Man of Tomorrow. And it's already off to a crazy start with what we've seen from the trailer, that Argus is going into this interdimensional portal, and they're going to be going to every Earth that they can get to and categorizing it as one thing or another. So that alone sounds insane, and it's just, I have no idea where we are about to go, you guys. For real, I have no idea what's next for any of this, man. But am I excited for it? You know I am, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know any of your thoughts, theories, or questions that you might have in the comment section down below when it does come to Peacemaker Season 2, the finale, baby. This is episode 8. We're going to be getting into some crazy things. At least I think so. I think we're going to be getting into some crazy things, especially with this being an hour long. And apparently there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff. I know a lot of people are expecting there to be some cameos in this season finale here, but I don't know. Do you guys think we're gonna see some cameos here? If you do, what characters do you think could pop up? Because I really don't. I have no idea, man. I feel like anything is possible going into this finale episode that we have here. Especially with the world that's already been built up, it's like, oh yeah, bro. We're going to the moon and back. And that might not even be an over-exaggeration of what is going to actually happen. You feel me? We might actually go to the moon and back. Who knows? Yo, what's up with it, Serge? How you doing? What this show is, I look most forward to every week. Series of the season, for sure. I think it's gonna be a great season finale here as well, man. I think that's what you're going for. And I agree. I have been looking forward to this every single week, and I have no idea where I'm gonna go next. Like, now that this is over, what are we gonna be watching next week? I mean, right? Like, what is gonna be going on next week, man? What is there going to be to do? I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. But I'm hyped. I think we are in for a good time when it comes to Peacemaker. This season has been crazy, man. And I think it's going to continue to be crazy, If you guys haven't already, make sure you drop a like and a share on the stream because it helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also follow us on all social media at Sensei Finito. Well, follow me on all social media at Sensei Finito to save the day with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions. And of course, you can follow the channel on all platforms at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. We're about to be getting into our watch party and review of Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 8. That is the season finale, y'all. And I think it's about to be a crazy, crazy time, if I do say so myself. So we're getting into it. Yeah, what's up with it, Brandon? How you doing, man? Yeah, we're gonna get into the episode. It does air in about 15 minutes. It's gonna be up there on HBO Max, right? And that is gonna be a banger for sure. Are you playing it on the stream or nah? I'm gonna be able to put up a little bit here and there, but I'm not gonna be able to put up the whole thing, of course, because you know how the copyright gods be, man. The copyright gods do not be playing with none of those shenanigans. But I will be able to show some stuff here and there, try to get some of those important parts up. I'm not gonna be able to play any audio in the background because again, the copyright gods don't play that shit, and we don't wanna, we don't wanna go against the copyright gods, bro, because they'll come through with and start smiting. They'll start smiting us left and right. But you guys will be able to see a little a little some, but it ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be everything. You know what I mean? If you want to, these will also go up on the Patreon. The full reactions go up on Patreon. We also have a little Discordia where stuff like that can get cracking and whatnot. So make sure you tune into all of that stuff if you want to help out the channel and all the good things that we're doing around here. We are on the Clock app and the Red app, if you know what I'm saying. So you can find us either place, either way. I'm pumped to get into this, man. I'll tell you what I need to know is where all of the people are hidden. Yeah, I also would like to know that. But they said that they were like sanctioned off in camps and things along the lines of that, which is crazy, bro. Like it's just insane what that world was like, Earth X from Peacemaker so far. That world was absolutely insane, and I just was not prepared for it. But I think we're gonna get into it today. I think today is gonna be a good time, yo. I think it's gonna be a good, crazy time. I'm really not prepared for anything that's gonna be on the board for us today. But then again, I am prepared for anything that's gonna be on the board for us today. You feel me? Let's try and get all of the chats here ready to go. TikTok, what's happening? I want to get them into the chat as well. Okay, bam. I think that's open up for that. Let's grab this. Boom. 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 Let's see. Bow. Okay, there we go. Gunn's been talking a big game, and I think the final episode might just match his big talk. Hey, I'm hoping it does. I'm not gonna lie, I am hoping. I think it will, though, as well. I feel like this season so far has been very, very well put together. I think every episode is built off of the last pretty well, and we've been building up into a very cohesive finale. I feel like, so I just hope that we really do like hit all those points, right? Even last week's episode kind of felt like a season finale, and that was a banger. So if we're going above and beyond what we got last week, I can only imagine what's really about to happen here, because we already have had a banger after banger when it comes to episodes. Again, not going to be able to play it on the stream because of the copyright gods, but I will be able to show a little bit of her and there, a little bit there and her. You feel me? Let me see. Where is it at? Here we go. And then I'll also have the subtitles up for y'all to follow along in that way. Where is the show? Boom. Let's bring this down here. What's going on? Uh-oh. Okay, that's interesting. That works, but this doesn't work. Okay. Not sure why that is. What time is it? Okay, we got about 11 minutes. Let me see if I can fix this little thing real quick on my stream deck, because usually when I press this button, it usually allows it to pop up for a little while and then disappear, but unfortunately that's not happening right this moment. Let's see, window, action. Yeah, that's very interesting. Huh. I'm not sure. Let's see if that'll go off with it then. Oh, it did go off. Maybe it's synced now. Yeah, there we go. See? So it'll be able to go like that and then it'll go away by itself. And I'll do that periodically throughout the episode. I won't be able to show the entirety of it just because, again, the copyright gods do not be playing with us around these parts. They just really don't. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button. Of course, because it does let those copyright guys know what's going on. So it's the finale time, everybody. So make sure you drop all of your reactions live from your favorite moments, the wild twist, all of it. I want to know how you're feeling throughout this entirety of this episode in the comment section down below. So please, please let me know. You heard me. Let me know how you feeling because we about to get into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Who's the cameo? Yo, what's up with the CG3? I really don't know. I don't know who the cameo is going to be today. I mean, if we're being honest, we've had so many cameos this season, and I didn't even expect what we've had already, right? Whether it's the Justice Gang being retconned into what happened at the end of season 1, or even just seeing Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Maxwell Lord. I mean, we've seen so much already that there's no end to where we might go. But I don't know what else is gonna be next. I mean, we even got to see Lex Luthor. You feel me, chat? Like there's nothing off the board right now. Everything is on the table, and we've never really got to see things to this level of crossoverness, which is weird because there was a heavy level of crossover when it comes to like a lot of the Marvel projects and stuff like that. But to have a character that was just in the movie appear right here in this show, and then this also leads into other stuff that's going on, and it's just kind of a lot going on. But what a time to be a nerd, because I mean, this is what I love about nerding out, is being able to see all of these different projects and see the way that they all mold together and come together to build something or create something that's just a lot more grand than I think we could have ever even imagined it to be. And that's what we're getting to experience right now with this. Is like, it's like, oh, hey man, I think Brandon said it best. Gunn has been talking a big game, and I think a lot of this season has been kind of holding up to a lot of that big game that he's been talking. But it's this final episode right here that is going to really tell the tale of how, of what we're going to be able to see for the future of not just Peacemaker, not just, Superman, but the DCU overall. It's going to be really important for all of that. And I'm down for that. I think that's the best way it goes. I I think when it comes to like comics, people are always so scared to jump into comics because they're not sure where the beginning is. But I think with this, you can like see a very clear beginning, which is what's going like, even though all the Suicide Squad stuff and all this other stuff, like I feel like if you've never watched any of that or you don't know what's going on, if you just jump in on Superman, you're pretty caught up with what you need to be caught up on in that movie. I think it builds the world pretty well, letting you know that there's metahumans and all this other shit going on. And then when you go into Peacemaker, again, it's doing the stuff that Marvel's kind of been terrified to do, which is making the rated R content, right? Like it took Marvel forever to start making rated R content, or at least the MCU rated R content, until however many movies down the line and all this other stuff. But you're starting right off the bat with having wild stuff from Peacemaker and that being R rated, and having stuff for the kids to watch, quote unquote, when it comes to Superman, and then stuff for the adults to watch when it comes to Peacemaker, and going to continue to make all these other shows like Lanterns and everything. So I think that would actually be a really good cameo. To circle back to CG3's question, I think if we got to have a cameo from like any of the Lantern stuff, that would probably actually be amazing. Because if we look at what happened at the end of Superman and the way that Supergirl just pulled up and we know she's about to get a movie, I know James Gunn likes to do same, but different. You know what I mean? Like he likes to do that, like very much so, and it works really well. Most of the time. So if he does something like that here, I think that would be pretty interesting. If we get to the end of the season and then boom, we see the Lantern stuff going on, and then it's like, all right, boom, the next stuff is going to happen in the Lanterns. This stuff is actually going on into this. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And I think we get a lot of teases from the MCU, and unfortunately, a lot of those teases can end up going nowhere. Like in Phase 4 and all that, a lot of those teases whether it goes to the Eternals or not Hercules. Was it Hercules? I can't think of bro's name right off the top of my head. But going to Zeus's son and all of this other stuff, it's like when we see all of these characters, we would like to see them pretty soon. And then we come around to here where it's like you see these characters and we are going to see them very soon in the next project, actually. And it's probably going to keep being like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I know this also may be a special link or a special occasion just because Superman and Peacemaker were made at the same time. I don't know if you guys remember, but James Gunn was like going on to panels and he was saying like, hey, he was saying, I'm recording a whole bunch of stuff right now at the same exact time. So I'm leaving this panel and I'm going back to film Superman and Peacemaker. And then there's other stuff going on with this and that. And he was literally making a whole bunch of projects at the same time. And that's why we were able to see a lot of this bleed over. And I don't know how often that will be a thing, but I'm going to say that I expect that to be a thing a lot more often. You feel me? Is to actually see this kind of crossover, this kind of bleed over. Well, not even kinda. That straight up did happen, but I think being more concise with it, having it happen more often, closer together, not as big of a gap. Like Superman damn near just came out. You know what I mean? Like that movie is not that old, and we're getting this show, and this shit, and we're already seeing things bleed over. Literally, them talking about events that have just happened that we just watched, and it's happening already right here. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Yo, what's up with Thatcher? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the chat. Hey, gang, I didn't manage to catch up fully. Still on episode 6 as I type, but I'll be able to watch tonight once I binge the next one. Ooh, okay, Thatch. Let me know how you feel, and you're in for some good things in those next couple of episodes, brother. But I'm also going to say you might want to skedaddle up out of here because we are full spoilers ahead about not only episode 6 but episode 7, and we're about to get into episode 8 in T-minus 2 minutes. If you ain't ready, y'all, I just want to let y'all know we're about to get into the season finale of Peacemaker in about 2 minutes here. It is 5:58 p.m. PST for me, and that means we're about to watch some Peacemaker, y'all. And I'm excited to get into it, and I hope you are too. Man, like, I don't know what we're going to see in this next episode. We might get a little bit more of Lex Luthor, a little bit of something else. Who knows what's in store? But what I know for sure is I am ready to walk through that door. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. Yo, what's up with Kevin? What's up with how you doing? Kevin Bowden? I hope you're having a good one, brother. I hope you're having a good one out there. I hope you're ready and excited. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you guys are ready for the season finale of Peacemaker. Let me get a 2 in the chat if you are not. And let me get a 3 in the chat if you just happy to be here. Because I'm happy to have you here too. You know what I'm saying? We're about to get into that. We're about to get into it momentarily. Momentarily. Let's get that going there. Where'd TikTok go? Okay, it wasn't there. I'm not tripping. I was like, bro, TikTok disappeared. All right. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. Let's see. Is the new episode out? Because it should be. No, I don't see it yet. Yo, what's up with the Tetrick? Happy to have you here, brother. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, okay. Last week we had to wait maybe like 60, 90 seconds for the episode to actually buffer on there. So don't you fret if you don't see it. You see me refreshing and whatnot. So we're all here together. We're all here together. Let's go to season 1 and back to season 2. Okay, I still don't have the episode yet. Let me know if y'all got the episode on your side or if it's still loading. It's 6:01 now. Maybe it's up there now. Let's see. Nope, I don't see it. I don't see it, chat. Do you see it? Let's see. Mine's still loading. Okay, bet. All right. As long as I'm not the only one having issues right now, that's okay. Hey, make sure you guys drop a like and a share on the stream because it helps out tremendously around these parts, okay? We are ready to get it cracking. We're about to get into the season finale right now. I think HBO Max is just having a little buffer moment because of this new episode and everybody trying to, jump on it and check it out. Boom, there we go. I got it. 58 minutes long. This episode is titled Full Nelson. I'm ready to get into it, and I hope you guys are too. On 3, we are going to press play and enjoy this episode together. All right? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it. We are definitely going to be watching this too when it comes out. Let's get past that. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Rifts.
That's right.
That is an open portal, and this one seems secure.
Fuck. Yes.
It's about to go absolute down. It's about to go down. We are getting into the season 2 finale of Peacemaker. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. This is your last chance to drop all of your final thoughts, theories, and predictions for this season. Okay, we are getting into it right now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show everything here live because of just the copyright gods and so on and so forth. So make sure you drop a like. Make sure you buckle up. And I should have these subtitles up here as well, running as we're watching. There we go. Big Belly Burger.
Maybe, but ads could have figured a way around it other than outing Waller on TV.
She's just trying to help.
I know.
What are you
Is
doing?
this in the past?
Making art.
Ooh. You know, you never really struck me as the artistic type.
Well, I've never been until now, but you know.
Okay, what is it?
That is your face.
It's a box with 2 dots.
But your face is a box with 2 dots.
Hey, you know this song?
You think I know this song, Chris?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. You were too busy assembling automatic weapons behind your back. While normal people were listening to the radio. Well, in 1999, the song Someone Special came out from the Swedish band Hardcore Superstar. Revolutionized the new sleaze rock movement.
New sleaze rock?
Yeah. So Mozart would be playing if he was still alive today.
Sure.
Maybe you wanted to. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Cause I don't wanna be the one to send you away.
Yo.
Someday.
Oh my God. That is so many shots. This must be the boat. It said 1 month ago? Oh, I didn't see that. No, taking shots too. Some other. That was funny. Yeah, he beat the shit. Yes. Yes, sir. Have a wonderful. To be proud of his fuck. Hey, she was set tripping. She was set tripping. She was about to beat the shit out of that man. She was about to beat the freckles off that dude. Oh, bro, you telling me that Adrian sees Peacemaker like an older brother and he's not like so good to him? That sucks, kind of. He should be like, bro, I got you. This is about to be a good episode, ladies and gentlemen. I am ready for it. So far, so good. Basically, explaining how we got onto the boat and the things that happened with the boat. I was wondering if we were going to see that flashback at all during the season. Um, I I would be surprised if we get more of that after this is over. But I also wouldn't be mad if we did. You know what I mean? I think so. Again, so far so good. We are off to a good start, man. It's dope to see. It's crazy to think that she was about to fight, dude. He stopped her. They went. They had a good time, a good night. They ended up sleeping together, all of that, and then immediately after that, she ghosted Peacemaker and started going to bars and beating the shit out of anybody that would talk to her or look at her crazy. Insanity. Insanity. How long is this episode? I think it said 58 minutes on the timestamp. So that means it's probably about 53 minutes. So a little under an hour. Just a little under an hour. What's up with Omar? Hope you're having a good one, yo. We're about what, like 10 minutes? Yeah. We're roughly 10 minutes into the episode, finishing up the intro song right now. Who do you think is going to cameo? Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Batmite, Overman? I've heard a lot of people want to see Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. So I would not be mad at that. I'll be honest with you. I would not be mad at that at all. Episode 8. Full Nelson. Let's get it. Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Have we seen this dude before? Oh. The Death Angel is crazy. Oh. Oh my god. It is some crazy magical shit. So, confirmed, they are searching through the. I don't even know what this place is called. I keep forgetting. I just keep thinking interdimensional, like, realm. Oh, they set it up near Lex's thing? What the Monsters Inc? That was crazy. Oh shit, it is Monsters Inc, huh? It is Monsters Inc. Um, Judo Master having his suit on in his suit is hilarious. Not Mothra. Now we haven't had any new cameos yet. Hunter, what's up with it? Oh no. Oh. Okay, so it seems that a lot of these doors have actually been locked. They say door 22, so I guess that's safe to say that all the other 21 doors before that have been locked, maybe? It's goddamn Alice in Wonderland. Oh, hell nah. We're not going in there. That looks terrifying. Good thing they have that infinite bungee rope. Jeez. It looks like the upside down. It looks like Candyland threw up in the upside down. Yeah. Run. Run. Oh my god, run. Run. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, what's happening to them? Yo. Oh my god. Oh. 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 Give him up. My. Oh. Bruh. Are him and Ames playing hide and seek? Mm. What the shit are they looking for? Were they trying to make another interdimensional prison because the one that Lex had is no longer in use and they actually need an interdimensional prison because they have terribly evil villains? Damn. Oh. Remember, if the glasses are gold. Okay, this is our universe. Oh my god. Not him camped out in his vigilante cave with snacks. Oh my goodness. All of this is so much more unethical. Uh oh. I knew she was about to play. She got him. I don't think that's true. Is he gonna beat the shit out of this dude? Yo, they're going into more. Uh, was that the other side of the portal from? Excuse the hell out of me. What the? What is this song that's playing? Oh my god. Oh! Zombies! Oh no! This is insane. This song is ridiculous. They're literally going in there like, SCP, is that what it is? What song name? Just, it is exactly what you think it's called. What the hell is going on? Oh shit. Yo, it is this, they do need the interdimensional prison. Oh shit. They need another interdimensional prison, dog. Damn, this sounds like a terribly, terrible idea. He probably loves it too. Oh shit! Oh shit, bro! Oh my god! Oh, I was parched. Cyborg. Crazy. Damn. Holy shit. Oh, damn. Is she going to Team Peacemaker? Going to a concert on a cruise just sounds insane. Are we about to listen to this whole song? I think we are, chat. But I think we're listening to this whole song, so just buckle up for that. The crowd going crazy is killing me. It's kind of like the beginning of what's it called? The beginning of the dance. Damn, is that all that happened? Damn. I thought they might have smashed or something. It was just a intimate kiss in the crowd and it broke both of them like that? That's crazy. Damn. Not being James Bond is crazy. Damn. Damn. Not just the doggos just chilling, like, bro, I don't know what's going on with them. Oh, shit, here we go. I mean, that is a fact, yeah. Was that what? What are we talking about here? Damn. I I love that the eagle hugging thing keeps coming back, bro. Because it changed her life, legit. And that's just hilarious. Damn, son. Damn, son. This this emotional, heartfelt episode, gang. Bro is a doofus. Are they starting their own company, bro? Bro just did a somersault. That's insane. Yo! That's wild. What in the fuck is happening right now? Checkmate, making the world better. Oh! Oh! What the hell? Oh. Oh shit, are they sending him to the world, bro? Oh my god, bruh. What? Yo. Yo. Damn. Damn. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Damn. What the fuck? What the fuck? What just happened, yo? How is there still 12 minutes left in this episode? What? What's going on? Okay. I have.
It's full of dead bodies. The guy was a serial killer, but the cop was like, "Hey man, you can't do this." He's like, "I got a permit," and he showed it to him. And cop was like, "I guess you're legit." Looks like someone's got a new fan. Thank you.
Are we done yet?
Is that it, blood? What?
Peace unlocked. Take more effort than
A piece of shit.
Chris is alone in an unfamiliar world, which is a pretty crazy ending to a pretty crazy 8 episodes.
We see Chris discover this world that seems like it's a better world, where his father and his brother are still alive. This is just everything he always wanted.
I think he's a whole lot happier than he was, and that's unusual.
We've had some hard times.
Fucking here.
Yeah.
And so you can see where somebody would be very tempted by wanting to experience more of that.
Are you sure you want to do this? You can have your whole career back if you just turn that silver container into Argus.
Then we better do it before I change my mind.
Is this a commercial for the season that we just watched? Like,
Economist didn't have a lot of friends until this odd parent.
And I'm so sorry.
Why are you still coming? Jesus.
Unwilling to use.
Just last week.
what in the fuck is happening?
What the fuck? It's me.
On every desk.
Think I'd be this buff if I looked at books.
What is
He
happening?
can't fathom having lost his.
Your final offer and not waste either of our times.
That's the beginning of the end for him.
They were being sacrificed.
My moral compass has shifted. What I care about is removing dangerous individuals from our.
What happens?
Seems really positive.
This is for Ricky.
I'm leaving Peacemaker stranded on the planet Salvation, and that's going to be an incredibly important thing in the future of the DCU.
Hmm. All right. I mean, I have words and I have thoughts, chat. I have thoughts and I have words, okay? I see you guys kind of losing your mind because I think you guys kind of expected a big spectacle, which is funny. I have thoughts, okay? I got thoughts. So let's just get right into it, yo. We just got done watching episode 8, the season finale of Peacemaker season 2. And I think that I think this was an actual pretty solid way. I won't say it was the best season finale. It definitely could have been better. But I do understand what he was doing with this. Planet Salvation must be very, very, very important. And he must be using that for something. I don't know what just yet. Okay, so what we need to know something about Planet Salvation, right? Like, What is Planet Salvation? Where is the big book of DC? I got the big book of DC right here. Let's see if Planet Salvation is something. If it's not in here, then we'll look on we'll look through other stuff. No, I don't see it right here right away. I feel like I saw someone say wait, where did it go? Someone said maybe there's another episode next week. This isn't the real season finale. There are definitely more episodes coming out. Like I it just seems like it does seem like there's more. This does not feel necessarily like a finale, but I think that's because the finale was very much in episode episode 7. I feel like episode 7 was very clearly the finale. We got a lot of stuff there, and this episode also just kind of wrapped up a lot of the other threads that we had, if you would, if so, like, you know what I mean, so to speak, because we did have a lot of these loose threads about different stuff within the show, and I think this episode did a good job of like wrapping all those things up, giving us an understanding of what happened between Harcourt and Peacemaker, and you know, all of that stuff. Not having everyone still working at Argus, you know, I think a lot of those decisions are, I think they make sense, but also like maybe it wasn't the best thing to do here for the end of the, like, for a season finale here, like in this manner. I think it is a big, while I do think that it's a big deal for all of the stuff that has happened within the show, and finding out that they're using this planet as a prison planet, and then we hear that there's like these different creatures and monsters that are actually on this planet too. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely understand what they're doing there. It was I will say while I did enjoy the episode, I do think that he is tripping for putting in 2 full songs of nothing but, you know, I think he's kind of, I think it's a little bit of a troll to put in a basically an entire concert set into this episode, and then call it the longest episode of the season, and then have it have like 15 minutes of credits. I think any argument for that is validated 100%. I don't think the gun jammed or anything like that. I don't feel like that. I feel like what we saw was very heavy in this episode. It introduced us to a lot as they went through the you know, the interdimensional portal stuff, and how people were dying, and seeing the different like not the planets, but the different universes and all that. You know, all of that was dope. I loved all of that, yo. But I mean, I think the entire season overall was really solid as well. But damn, bro, it's a little underwhelming of a finale when it's like, oh, this is gonna lead into this, and it's gonna be this huge. I never saw him say anything about them being a huge cameo here. But if he did say that, he was 100% talking about the stupid ass band. Like, that's just it. He was 100% talking about the band. Yo, what's up with the Chucky, Kentucky? Welcome to the Super Fam. I appreciate you. Definitely a bold decision, man. This is a bold finale to have. It's bold to have a finale really not be a finale. That's a pretty bold thing to do, especially because a lot of the stuff with the door. I guess Rick Flag did. As I'm talking it through, everything that happened in this episode makes a shit ton of sense. And And I may be mistaken here, but it definitely seemed like
Things happen here.
his girl was there. Like the one that was like the whole reason why they decided to make Checkmate. It seemed like she was there as it was going down. Right here. Who is this woman? Who was that? I don't know. Very interesting. But all right, I feel like I got to do a little bit of damage control, but not a lot. Because I will say that I feel like I don't want I don't want to invalidate the way that you guys are feeling about this season finale, because I can understand how this was underwhelming 100%. I really can. I can understand that. I can understand having a big issue with them playing 2 full songs and showing the band on concert and cutting it like a music video. I can fully get behind being frustrated with that. I can get behind being disappointed with this season finale. But I don't think that means that this season finale is necessarily bad. I think it's different. I think it's a choice. I think I think I need to kind of dive in a little bit and see what's going on. But I think we need to basically talk about what is actually being built up to here, right? Like, I think when it comes to DC stuff, there is a lot of underlying things that people aren't too familiar with, as opposed to Marvel, where they introduce something and then it's like, oh snap, this means this, or this goes into this, or whatever. You know, like this is a lot different, you know? But I think someone actually just said it, and this is what I was about to do anyway, to kind of help you guys out a little bit in the chat to know what the hell is actually going to be coming up next. If we actually look at the DC fandom database with the Salvation Run comic, which I believe is where we're going to be definitely headed to. When I was talking about the Salvation, I was looking initially in the big book of DC to see if it was there, but I think that just focuses on characters. But in the Salvation Run, this is a DC event that counts down to the final crisis, where Amanda Waller and Rick Flag, through Checkmate and the Suicide Squad, launch a campaign to round up all of the world's most harmful supervillains and deport them off planet. The idea that they will not be unlawfully jailed or sentenced to their deaths, but merely exiled to a planet thousands of light years away, where they will be incapable of continuing to hurt people. They are left with their weapons and equipment, and the planet chosen is specifically identified as of harmless environment, and with adequate resources for the villains to begin their own civilization if they choose to get along with and work together. However, factors beyond Checkmate's control show the planet to actually have been a dormant, almost mechanical world filled with dangerous killer beasts. The villains are forced to deal with their circumstances and confront a community entirely composed of dangerous and or psychotic criminals, where the greatest danger to them is a difficult tie between the world trying to kill them and themselves. So you feel me? Like this is it. They're building to a. This is a really big story that's actually getting built to, which is going to be looked at through a completely different lens. As a result of their whoa. This is a crazy history. Let's see, history, camps, issues, notes, deaths, and links. There's a whole bunch of stuff that actually is going on here. And they legit end up sending a lot of villains to this Salvation planet as well. So there's this is actually low-key insane because they're kind of setting up Peacemaker for being like bruh, I almost want to say like an old man Logan type of character in the world, but I don't think that's the best way to say it. But having him be the first one there, I guess it almost makes him like the ruler of the planet, but not really the ruler of the planet. And obviously, there's going to be other metahumans and all this stuff that's going to be going on. So this is actually going to be pretty interesting to see where we're going with this. And I'm trying to figure out why it would be such a big deal in the new I don't know why this would be such a big deal in the new thing, you know what I mean? This is going to be crazy. I think this is going to be crazy. I think the way that it was introduced, they could have done a better job. I'm not going to lie. The stuff could have been introduced a lot better, but with the things that's getting built up to are insane. It is insane. Like, it really is. The payoff for this is definitely a little underwhelming in a way, but the shit that they're about to do next is gonna be dope, bro. Like, it kind of sucks that this man put 2 full songs in this episode and a lot of other things that were going on. I do not think that going into yet another character, I think a character-driven episode, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think going into like all of this payoff being from the character, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, bud. I don't know. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. I don't know if I can say it's a L. It's not necessarily an L for me because I appreciated a lot of the stuff that happened in this episode, but it's definitely not like a huge W. Like, it's definitely not a huge W. I think for a lot of people, this episode will probably hurt the rest of the season as well. Like, for real. I think all of these actors, I think everybody was acting their ass off in this episode, though. I really like what we have seen, where Peacemaker has come from and where he's going to. All of that, I think it's been really a good build up to a lot of that different stuff, but I feel like James Gunn might have bit the bullet on this one. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might have really talked this episode up a little bit too much for just like it almost feels like a troll a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that this episode is a troll, but it almost feels like a troll because it's very underwhelming from what I think a lot of us expected. I think we kind of expected some type of big spectacle or something along the lines of that. I think we did get a spectacle. I'm not going to lie. I think we still did get a spectacle of sorts. It's just that those 2 songs really hurt the episode. It does. And then having a lot of it be so, I don't want to say dragged out, but it did feel very dragged out. I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Overall, I really enjoyed this season, but just like Pears just said, I don't think that this necessarily felt like a finale. I think the last episode felt a lot like a finale. But I also understand not being able to talk about all of those things. You know what I mean? Or at least to go into a lot of those things. I mean, it makes sense. Roman Reigns, very sad. I think this finale could have been better, but James Gunn usually has an idea, so let's hope. Yeah, I could definitely see the vision. That's what I was kind of talking about as well. And then, chat, of course, if you don't know, this is because this is all leading up into like the DCU's adaptation or the DCU's take on the Salvation Run comic, where what we've already kind of see happen here, everything that we just saw set up here was basically what was released on the podcast episode, on the podcast, my bad, on the in this episode of the show. It actually set up a lot of the Salvation Run stuff, and I think that actually could have been done a little bit better, but I also understand not wanting to do a cameo fest just for the sake of it. I honestly thought the portal was going to open and we were already going to see like hella villains in there or something crazy like that was going to happen or anything like that. But it's like, no, instead, Peacemaker is just the first prisoner on the Salvation Run planet, you know? And then I think Planet Salvation will no doubt have a ton of stuff going on in Man of Tomorrow. Just an interesting decision. Interesting decision to end the season like this. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, let's get a one in the chat if you guys want me to check out the podcast right now live with y'all. We'll be able to watch that fully and listen to it. Let's get some ones in the chat if you want to check out the podcast to see what's going on. Twos in the chat if you don't. They just released the podcast. Okay, I'll take that as a one. It seems like some people are interested in checking out the podcast. I'm gonna vote one on IMDb for this, not because they made fake hype for this. Also, bad ending. I don't know if I would say it's a bad ending. You know what I mean? I think it's all very interesting. Okay, I'm seeing ones. All right. Let's bring up the podcast episode. I wonder if he's going to talk about the Salvation comic. So, like, to let us know a little bit, or at least to let the general audiences kind of know what's going on. Wish the season set up other shit. We're not stuck in this situation. It did set up other shit. Unlimited. I want to make that very clear, chat. This episode set up a lot. Okay, it's okay if you're not, well versed in DC. I'm not that well versed in DC either. I just know of the Salvation stuff. I knew the Planet Salvation. You know what I mean? And that's why I immediately looked it up and started doing my research to try to figure out what was going on there. And Planet Salvation is a planet. I think it has to do with the new gods and some of the things like that as well. So a lot of stuff that's about to come up is about to go through the roof, you guys. Like for real, it's about to get crazy.
On Peacemaker, the podcast.
Yes, that is true.
And I play James Gunn, and she plays Jennifer Holland.
This is also true.
Everything that happened in this episode was already known. There was absolutely zero
When
surprises.
I drove into work this morning.
I was surprised that they didn't sleep together and they just shared a kiss on the boat. But I kind of agree with that. Other than them using the interdimensional portals to try to find a prison to send someone to, we definitely didn't know about that. We didn't know that. I mean, we also saw that Lex's entire team was basically back together doing stuff. I mean, they just showed us how bad Argus was really run, so we could actually be a little bit more behind Checkmate. And they also added Checkmate, which is a big thing in DC. Didn't know about Salvation Run. It sounds super cool, but normals are not gonna like this finale for sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is normal the normies aren't gonna like this one. And unfortunately, when it comes to DC versus Marvel, there's a lot more normies. That's just the truth of the matter. A lot more people know a lot more about the MCU or just Marvel period in depth. So when you say something like Secret Wars, they already know what that is, or Planet Hulk or Sakaar, or some of that type of stuff. You know, those are kind of buzzwords for a lot of Marvel fans because it's like, oh snap, like, oh my goodness, that means this or that means that. Essentially, what just happened in this episode, just so you guys know, essentially what just happened is we saw Hulk fly away in the Quinjet at the end of Age of Ultron, if I'm not mistaken. That's the movie. You know what I mean? And then he flies off to Planet Hulk, and we all knew that was going to be the next time that we saw Hulk. It was going to be Planet Hulk. That's essentially what just happened, but in a completely kind of different way. You know what I mean? Like, so I want you guys to know that what was just set up is that big that it's like, okay, this is definitely going to be what's going on next, especially since Lex Luthor is so involved and all this other stuff. Like, it's 100% what's going to be the next thing that occurs. What's going on? Hello? Hello? Okay, I don't know what the hell just happened. That was weird. I'm sorry. 2 songs was too much. I agree. I agree with that. 2 songs was too much. My bad, y'all. I'm back. I'm going to start from the top because I don't know what happened. Okay? I don't know what happened. Am I still muted? No? Okay. We're good. We're back, right? We back? I think we back. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it. Okay? Salvation Run is a DC event tying into the countdown to Final Crisis. Amanda Waller and Rick Flag, through Checkmate and Suicide Squad, launch a campaign to round up all of the world's most harmful supervillains and deport them off planet. The idea being that they will not be unlawfully jailed or sentenced to their death, but merely exiled to a planet thousands of light years away where they will be incapable of continuing to hurt people. So this is one of the main reasons why we have seen Rick Flag watching the news, seeing that prisoners have been escaping from Belle Reeves and all these other places throughout the entire season, is because the metahuman population is too great for them to actually contain. And so they were trying to figure out what was going to be going on after that. Okay. So now they are left with their weapons and equipment, and the planet chosen is specifically identified as of harmless environment. and with adequate resources for the villains to begin their own civilization if they choose to get along and work together. I think that's also something that was very well built up, and they kind of made that be known with what we saw in there. However, factors beyond Checkmate's control show the planet to actually have been a dormant, almost mechanical world filled with dangerous killer beasts. The villains are forced to deal with their circumstances and confront a community entirely composed of dangerous and or psychotic criminals, where the greatest danger to them is a difficult tie between the world trying to kill them and them themselves. Okay, so you know what I mean? Like, that's legit what's getting built up right here. Like, word for word, bar for bar, this is what we are building up to from this season finale, from this entire season. Honestly, this whole season was about this. Like, this is the real reason why Rick Flag has been trying to find the interdimensional portal stuff that was being used and all of this other stuff, right? All of it was a big plan to get all of the metahumans off world, but it's also a plan for him to get his revenge on Peacemaker, and it's a plan to kind of continue what, mind you, Lex Luthor was already doing with his metahuman prison that was being used before, right? Like, so there's a lot of levels going on here, and that is definitely what it's all building up to. There's also some more history and stuff down here about what goes on in the duration of the story. But if anything, we'll check that out after the actual podcast. They succeeded. I agree with you there, but I think most of us wanted more for the finale. If this is the last episode ever, that's a L. I feel you there, Jonathan. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think that's a good point, you know, and I think that's actually a big reason why a lot of people. I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of people have had an issue with a lot of these shows, is because some of them have felt like, usually when we get these finale episodes, they're like 30 minutes long or something, and it is like action packed, but it doesn't end up hitting, right? You know, like sometimes it doesn't end up hitting with a lot of those Disney Plus Marvel shows. All of those final episodes were huge spectacles and huge action things, and things were going on, but not a lot of people like that. And it's interesting to see this, where it's like we take a different take on it, to where we did have like some big action spectacles going on, but it was more of a character study this season. I think that's a good thing, and I think having the access to go in and out is what works, right? I think that's one of the things that really, really works, is that you're able to open the door basically anywhere and then remove the door from that spot. So they can constantly shift the door and where it's coming from to different spots to put new people in. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty good thing. Yo, shout out to George Williams. Welcome to the Super Fam. I appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean? That's a pretty good thing.
Chris doesn't want to see any of his friends who are all trying to see him.
Because I'm the angel of fucking death.
We saw at the end of episode 7.
What are some villains you want to see stuck in Salvation? Lex Luthor, actually. I think it would be hilarious to see Lex end up being trapped in the making of his own thing. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if maybe from the time we get from this to Man of Tomorrow, if the villains are like locked in, and if they like become such a big nuisance that they try to attack back, and then that is what causes Superman and Lex Luthor to kind of work together. Hey, Phil Gomes, welcome to the Super Fam. I appreciate you.
Brother Keith was almost dying in his
If you guys want me to 100% read your chat, please drop a super chat so I can do that, and I'll answer any questions that you have, or do any type of deep dive to anything that you might want if you send a super chat, or I'll just hit your comment when I can. I still think that it was a good episode with great character building and story building, but James did hype this up about possible cameos. I think most people will hook on that than saying that it's a good episode. I agree completely, Terrell. I agree completely with your take right there, bro. I think it was a good episode as well. I think James Gunn might have put his foot in his mouth a little bit with this one.
That on fully,
and all of that. I do. Real quick, let's also talk about Checkmate, because I know you guys will probably want to know about it. Checkmate is a governmental intelligence agency established by Amanda Waller, but actually here it's established by who? Her daughter. Let's stay locked in, okay? Checkmate is a governmental intelligence agency established by Amanda Waller as an independent branch of Task Force X. The organization took its name from the winning moves in chess, and its hierarchy was modeled after the pieces in the classic board game. Kings and queens are the leaders, bishops oversee missions behind the scenes, rooks plan the missions, knights carry out the missions, and pawns are the support staff. Later, during Maxwell Lord's first tenure as Black King, designations of black or white indicated whether an operative's speciality is operations black or intelligence white. Following the events of the Infinite Crisis, Checkmate was recharted as a United Nations Security Council affiliated agency. So again, the things that we're building up to are massive. Hey, one's in the chat if you guys would be down for a Checkmate show. I just saw this comment right here. I would front row a Checkmate show. One's in the chat if you guys would like a Checkmate show. Just based off of what we saw right there, didn't it feel like maybe they're gonna do a spin-off show for Checkmate, and that's why we're not gonna get another season of Peacemaker? It could be very similar to how we didn't get WandaVision season 2, and instead we got Multiverse of Madness, you know?
VFX company
And
Rodeo, who
I can't think of the other
really
thing.
came through for us and did some dynamite work on the visual effects. Those weren't real imps, and they were not imps, and they weren't little tiny human beings in costumes.
But those were giant edible candy cans.
We did build a lot of those. We did have a lot of giant candy cans. Some of those things were practical.
But we also had these
That's crazy.
squishy, jelly-filled,
right.
practical imps on set
That we had to squish.
In Salvation Run comics, that planet belongs to the New Gods. Just saying. Exactly. And that's kind of one of the first things that I said. I haven't said it again because it's not in here, right here in this getaway stuff. But it is connected to the New Gods. It is connected to Apocalypse. It is connected to a lot of that different stuff, yo guys. So there are big things that are really actually being set up right here in the miniest way possible. Hey, Chuck Jester, I see you drop. Okay, we're gonna talk about that song in just a second. Gods and Monsters, 10 years plan. And then, okay, KD, check me out. Gods and Monsters is the 10-year plan. That's what this whole chapter is about. Gods and Monsters, right? What did I just tell you about the planet Salvation? What have I told you about this planet? That there are monsters there, and that it is also connected to the New Gods. Like that story, that connection, especially if Man of Tomorrow is kind of doing the Salvation run, like that is huge. You know what I mean? That is huge. Like Gods and Monsters is literally Planet Salvation. Just imagine how good it would have been if we saw Chris on Salvation, and then all of a sudden Blue Beeter or Brewster Gold flew in because they were addressing an anomaly in the QUC. That actually would have been pretty gas. Not gonna lie, that actually probably would have been gas. But okay, that is super comic booky too, and I don't put that past James Gunn at all because that is comic booky as hell to see. I would be down for something crazy like that. It sucks that we didn't get anything like that, but I like what we got. You know, I think James Gunn did a thing to where it's like planting a seed to where now the super nerds are going to say stuff. The super nerds like me, how I'm sitting here explaining it to everybody that's here about what's going to be happening in it, right? New Rockstars is obviously going to do a huge deep dive into the Salvation run and all of that shit as well. You know what I mean? And doing all of that. So it's just interesting, you know? Again, I think he could have did a better job with it, but I also like the way that I don't like the way that we were trolled, but I do like the way that the future is set up. You know what I mean? It's such a love-hate relationship. I think this is a love-hate relationship in this episode, chat. I think we can all agree on that. I think some elements, nothing confirmed, but we can assume it's the same origin. I don't know about Tech Lord, Master Lord, Booster Gold. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I think if James Gunn didn't overhype the episode, it would have been really well received. I agree, Chuck. I agree. JG put his foot in his mouth. But also he didn't. Like I said before, I think he
goes into the bathroom.
So if we're to paint the picture of what's actually going on within the DCU right now, there are going to be like two types of things that are going to be going on perpendicularly, right? We're going to obviously outside of the gods and monsters things that are going to be going on, those are obviously going to be happening. But outside of that, when we see Supergirl and when we have lanterns, you got to remember both of those are space. Both of those are going to be a lot more space centered. Supergirl is literally in space and it's going to be taking place on another planet, nothing to do with Earth. All the stuff that's going on with lanterns is actually going to be a very big deal because it's going to be super connected to all the things that are going on within space, because you have to remember, if there is a new lantern, what does that mean? That a lantern has also just died. So, if we're going into that, whatever that reason that a lantern has just died or anything that's going on, that's going to be a very big issue for the space and for the cosmic side of things. So really, when it comes to the DCU, we have the grounded level things. We have a mythical level of things that we haven't really dabbled into yet when it comes to like the monsters aspect of things. But then we also have, you feel me, another layer, which is the cosmic layer. And that's what Supergirl is going to be dealing with, especially because Lobo is going to be a big bad in that. And then also when you have, the other shit that's going on too. Like one of the other main protagonists of the movie is going to be an alien from another planet. I mean, she's an alien from another planet on another planet. Like it's going to be going down, bro. Like everything, it's going to be insane. How about deliver one of the best early monologues in the DCU? His speech to Peacemaker was phenomenal. I think the finale was more like a setup than a finale. Definitely. You see the Prawns game last night? I kind of found the ending, I don't know, maybe unsatisfying. Not sure that's the right word, but I'm bummed it ended on a cliffhanger that I gotta wait years to see what happens. You don't have to wait years, chat. You're just thinking that you have to wait years because you're used to the MCU. I'm not even trying to throw shade. That's just facts. You're used to shit taking years. Like, nah, bruh. We are literally going to see the shit that happened in this season next year, bro, in Man of Tomorrow. Like, that shit is crazy. Wait, is Man of Tomorrow 2026 or 2027? I can't even remember. I think it is 2027, huh? Yeah, but still, that's basically next year. We in the last quarter of the year right now. Like we have it's no time in between that, and we still get Supergirl right around the corner, and we got something else right around the corner too. Lanterns, bro. We got shit going on, so we ain't gotta wait years, man. I liked the episode, but I didn't like that it was the last episode of the season. Actually, that actually works for me. I think that this comment actually embodies exactly how I feel. That is so true. I'm happy to see people aren't like shitting on the episode in the comments of that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to see that because I don't think this episode deserves to be shit on by any means, but it definitely, you know, I knew, like I said, I knew early on that it was going to be kind of a troll, and I knew early on that it was going to be a character study. So I kind of had to be prepared for that. I don't think anyone else was prepared for a character study, and I think as people were watching, they kind of were probably waiting for something to go down. But I mean, we started the episode with imps eating someone's face off. Like, that's huge. Like, this is the type of DCU that we are in, is where like all these other universes and shit just bleeds over. There was like someone turned into a zombie in this episode, bro. Like, do you understand the type of shit that's really going on here, bro? It's crazy. Like, it's crazy what we're really building up to here. You think Vandal Savage saves them later on from that planet? And it's gonna be Lex. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have think that Man of Tomorrow is gonna be about them finding out what's been going on. So let's say that it is like in universe, it's a couple of years where all this stuff is happening, right? Like it's a couple of years going on. Like, oh, Lanterns, Supergirl, all of that stuff is kind of, well, I guess technically Supergirl might actually take place at the same time as Peacemaker. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, actually, I think it does. Honestly, the DCU has been mad linear so far, if you really think about it, right? Like we've been going from like legit from Man of Tomorrow to Superman to Supergirl. Wait, Man of Tomorrow. Wait, hold on. Let me take a break. Let me take a second to think, bro. Let me take a second to think. Okay. From Superman to Peacemaker to Supergirl, all of that is very linear in fashion. And I think you can put Lanterns wherever that falls in place of release order, probably in that linear fashion as well. It's just going to be very interesting to see how other people handle the DCU. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the biggest part that we really need to see is how other people handle the DCU. So, Supergirl and Lanterns are going to be very important and very pivotal to what's going to be actually going on. I think it's really important as well that James Gunn is starting all this off. But, you know, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is going to be a good movie because we're going to be outside of, you know, Earth and the cosmic stuff. So is there going to be world building? Yes. And all this stuff is going to be happening, of course. But most importantly, you know, it's going to just be interesting to see how everyone else is handling all these different characters that are, you know, that are there. So, yeah, man, what a W stream today, bro. I think I had a really good stream. I think I enjoyed this stream more than I enjoyed the episode. I think with all of the other stuff that this episode leads into, that definitely gets me excited and makes me hyped for the future of where we're going in the DCU. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, dooski, so you can always stay up to date with everything that we do around here. We're always doing watch parties, nerding out, talking about stuff, doing breakdowns, reactions, and more. So make sure you guys tune in for that. I might make a whole video breaking down Salvation and all of that, and I might even do the comic book series, the Salvation run, just to get a better idea of what's going on for everybody, and then just start making some content based off of that so we can all kind of get more attuned and more in line with what's going to be happening next in the DCU. You feel me? So if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe because it definitely helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also join the Discord. You can find the link for that in the description box down below. We're always talking about stuff and nerding out, and I answer any questions that you got. Well, I answer most questions that you guys might have in the Discord as well, and then just nerd out and break down stuff and all that good stuff. We do nerdy podcast every Sunday. Me and Mike Beasy, we do the Cage update where we just talk about the latest and greatest in comics, anime, gaming, and entertainment. So you guys definitely gonna want to tune into that. I stream on Twitch if you guys want to check that out. Got the TikTok going where I'm always releasing content on there too. So tune in, you guys. You feel me? I just hit 1K on TikTok. We're on our way to 4K here on YouTube. So join the journey and you know, hang along for the ride as we keep diving into the new DCU, the MCU, and the future of just all things nerdy and pop culture. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to be here with me, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. All right? And as I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.